what the hell has happened with the yoga market? Everywhere, you can't move for yoga teachers at the moment. And everything looks so generic. Everything looks the same. It's completely flooded with people just doing exactly the same thing. Where's the spirit of yoga gone? Where's the true purpose of yoga gone? It just seems completely flooded. What's happened? I thought it was supposed to progress. We're gonna have to save yoga. So what happened? Years ago, when my family got into yoga in the UK in the 70s, no one had even heard of the word yoga. They didn't know what it was. It was just another foreign word. And to be honest with you, they didn't really like foreigners back in those days. And when they heard about yoga, it was hippies and mueslis and sandals and just very, very weird, out there kind of people. It wasn't normal at all. In fact, it was very, very odd. When you saw yoga recorded and broadcasted, it was all in Hindi.
ठीक ही बताई ना तारा बहन?
हाँ ठीक थी सब बातें। ये सब हम कहते हैं योगा में प्रिपरेशन करते हैं। जब ये एक्सरसाइज करते हो आप तो आपके देखा नेक जॉइंट, शोल्डर जॉइंट्स, हिप्स, नीज और एंकल्स तैयार हुए।
No one even wanted to see it in English because no one was interested. The only prominent yoga teacher around was my mother, Tara Patel, and she was an Asian lady. Even in those days, it was difficult for women to do their own businesses in the Asian community, let alone anywhere else. But she pushed and she pushed until videos were made in English for the first time to try and get the message of yoga out there. And her and half a dozen other yoga teachers throughout the UK started doing retreats, started doing training, started taking lots and lots and lots of classes until yoga was pushed forward into the front line where people started to understand what it was. And then in 1990, she handed it to me and said, "You do it now." So I took over and I started pushing and pushing. And then around year 2000, 2004, me and a group of another dozen yoga teachers started really pushing things hard, doing more and more shows, more and more retreats, umpteen yoga classes a week, 20 yoga classes a week, working up and down the UK, going worldwide with it, lobbying the government, lobbying the NHS, working with our community embassies and pushing and pushing and pushing until yoga had really got to the forefront by about 2010, 2015, and then something happened. By about 2018, 2020, something had really, really gone wrong. With the expansion of small businesses and social media and people getting online, we thought, and I thought, yoga would start progressing to become more of the spiritual subject that it was, but it didn't. It just went that way and became super generic, super samey, and the market was flooded with teachers doing exactly the same thing, all trying to get a chunk out of this yoga market that we'd built up from the 70s, 80s, and 2000s. And that's when I started to realize, whoa, something's really not right here. This is not what we planned. Chikra yoga graduates aside, I just saw everything looking exactly the same. In my courses and my classes, I drilled it into everyone, whether they liked it or not. Even if they wanted to do more headstands or whatever, I would give them maps of time and space and Vedic diagrams to study because that was real yoga and they had to learn about meditation. They had to understand the whole subject of yoga, not just the postures. And to be honest with you, when I finished my last teacher training course last time, I called up Vicky, my course coordinator, and I said to her, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing another teacher training course ever again. Not because my graduates were no good, they were good. But the world, I said to her, I said, Vicky, the world doesn't need any more yoga teachers. And I left the call and I said, I'm not doing it. I just was not feeling it. I was not feeling it anymore. As I walked away from the call, a voice said to me, yes, Neil, the world doesn't need more yoga teachers, but it does need more good yoga teachers. And that's when it hit me that it's not just about making more teachers. I've got to make good teachers. And that word good really struck me as, what does that mean? So I started to think again about, if I'm going to do another teacher training course, what am I going to do different to make myself happy and to give justice to this subject properly and to drill down harder into what the real meaning of yoga is? And that's when I thought about this course. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a great lover of scriptures. I study them all the time, and I'm always constantly breaking them down so that I can teach them and understand them myself. Now, I'm writing a book called the Mahabharata at the moment, which you might know of. It's taken me 8 years already, and I'm trying to write an interpretation of that from a different angle. And in that book, I'm learning about some of the greatest teachers that ever existed for teaching Vedic culture. And they are Lord Brihaspati, Shukracharya, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and Sage Sandipani. And these are the teachers of all the gods and all the demons as well, and anyone who needed to learn anything, and the teachers of Lord Vishnu in his incarnation as Lord Krishna. So I looked at them and I thought, you know what? If I'm going to do a course, I'm going to hold myself to that type of standard of teaching Vedic scripture and culture and yoga. And that's where I'm coming from now. And when I say something, I absolutely mean it. It's a commitment in stone that I will do that. And that stone will be chiseled into a beautiful sculpture of a yogi. I'm going to teach how to be a yogi. And as I said before, I'm going to take 30 characteristics, many of which were taught by Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Mahabharata to Arjun as to what it is to be a yogi, what are the traits, and I will help to give that to my trainees in the future. So that is what I'm going to do. We've got to learn how to be yogis before we become yoga teachers. So when you walk off this course that our studio is creating now, you're going to come away understanding to the very core, to the fiber of your soul, what it means to be a yogi. And then if you qualify and you teach, I know in my heart and soul, I've done the very best I can to give respect and reverence to my lineage, my blood lineage in yoga, and my heritage as a Vedic human being, to give into this world, to go forward the real meaning and the real purpose of yoga. I want to challenge myself and my trainees to go to war with themselves, to improve themselves better, more than anything else they've ever done in their lives, to come out so great and so strong that they can be pillars of their community, pillars of their family. In all their relationships, they can lead people towards a great example of a wonderful human being, even if they don't teach yoga, even if they're just yogis in their lives. That would be great for me. That will be what I'm doing. And this is what inspires me now to do the course, to make inspirational, powerful, knowledgeable and intelligent yogis who know their stuff and say, right, I can certify you and not feel anything in my heart other than joy and happiness and pride that we have done the right thing by the subject of yoga. So if you want to be part of that growth, then come forward. You can register your interest now, which will bookmark you a place, reserve you a place. If you wanted to go forward when the booking process opens, you know that you'll have a place. It will also give you a £250 discount if you want to go forward. So getting your name in before the 14th of April will just give you that ability. So get involved and become part of this, because I'm telling you, there is no yoga trainer on earth who will put as much into a course as I will. People don't even do the amount of hours consistently with a trainee as I will do. I'm doing it the old school way, where I sit with a trainee for 1 or 2 years or however long, and I work with you as a person. I get to know you. But anyway, you'll hear more about that in a little while. Let me for now give you a summary of the details that we have so far. So as I read from my phone here, the other subjects that we'll be covering, as an example, will be meditation, character training, asana, pranayama, relaxation, chakras, karma, reincarnation, anatomy and physiology, the holy Vedas, how to teach yoga, asana adjustments, and many more. There'll be new modules like the abdomen module, plus many more which I'll announce soon. The commencement date will be spring 2026. We'll have a preparatory module sometime in autumn, winter 2025 or 2026. The length of the course will be 18 months plus mocks, exams and graduation. The total hours will be longer than any other gold course that we've done so far, 300 hours 210 of those hours will be in person with your trainer. Training day will be mostly Sundays, every 2 or 3 weeks. There'll be no weekday training. Holidays will be Easter, summer, winter break, school breaks, and most other special religious or observed holidays. The modules in total will be about 32, plus exams and graduation. The location we're looking at is now likely to be Harrow or Hatch End area, and we are allowing overseas people to come. We've had great results with overseas trainees over the years, over many years, over 10 years of training overseas. The level that we accept is beginners to advanced, so anybody, as long as your heart and soul is in the right space with yoga and you pass the application and interview process. Ages, as we said before, 13 plus, and the tutor will be myself. I'll be the lead, but we will have the Chikri office behind us, and we will have Chikri graduates from 15, 20 years will all be supporting the course, so you'll see them coming in and out as staff for the course. The exams will be written exams, practical exams, and character assessments as we go along. To register your interest, just simply reply anywhere you see this video, or you can just email gold@chikri.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Namaste.